This is like the most country I've listened to in a week. Probably my whole life. But it's been good. Well, week. It's been like 2 weeks.
It's probably been a bit more than that, to be honest. Yeah. It's my bad.
No. This is why I have a very flexible, unprescribed release schedule. But it's been good though. It's been a revelation. It's been like so enlightening, and I love his songwriting as well. Such a good songwriter.
That was gonna be my first like question. Was like, what did you think overall? Because it's country, but I think I said this at the end of the last episode. Like, it's country, but it's like it's a bit different. It's not like straight up like lyrically maybe and stuff. He touches on quite like country-esque sort of stuff, but then it's very like there's some cool like sort of newer elements to it that I wouldn't put in country. There's like a bit of grunge and stuff that happens throughout, and then some of it is just like straight up country. Like you can just some of the slide guitar and like
yeah, for sure. Cool. I think what it is I get the sense that Stephen didn't go out and say, I want to write a country album, but he's from the country and he just wrote music, and that's just what came out
exactly
in that style, and like all the grunge elements that came with it, and like the Americana sort of soft rock elements that came out. It's just how he would interpret that song or that emotion, and it's not like it's definite. It is through and through a country album, but it's like out of the box country. Like it doesn't feel cookie cutter by any means.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think because he's not trying to like retain this massive like crowd or this like huge fan base. Like he's not writing something to keep a whole fan base in a particular genre or something, So he's just like made a lot of fans by writing this kind of album.
And I think it's just true to who he is. Like I know you shared with me that podcast that, what was it? Birdcast.
Is it Birdcast?
Yeah, I think so.
Or something like that.
I watched a few. I watched that one again because I'd actually seen that one before, but I watched it again. But he just seems so chilled, like down to earth, and that kind of comes through in the songwriting. It's very like authentic, and he's not like trying to be someone he's not. He's just very chilled and like
yeah.
You
kind of get that from the music videos as well. I spent one of the evenings, I was like up late making notes, and like I watched some of the music videos, and he's just kind of, he doesn't seem to want to be up front and center singing. And then there's the one where he does that live, I can't remember which song it was now, for the life of me. It might have been Calico Creek. No, it wasn't Calico Creek. Which one was it?
There's quite a bit on YouTube because I sat and watched quite a bit, like people filming him, like people filming gigs like on their phones. But there was some cool videos I found where like he's actually a decent frontman. Like he's so quiet in interviews and stuff and whatever. And then like on stage, he was actually like running around and like getting into it. It was really cool.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
It was really, really cool. But yeah, like, I don't know. I like the like grungy element to it. Like the guitars and drums and stuff just sound, I don't know, just sound like gritty and like, but not in that like, because some country can just be very polished and very like, even though the drums sound really good. Like, who was it we did on that one punch? Was it Luke Combs? I think you brought the track.
Yeah.
And like that.
Did I bring that one?
Yeah.
Luke Combs.
Yeah, that My Kind of Saturday Night.
Oh gosh, that was a while ago.
Yeah. But like that song, dude, like the drums and stuff and the just everything, instrumentation was just rocking. Like it was so cool, but then it was just so polished. Like,
Oh, I do remember that now. Yeah,
do you know what I
It's
mean?
got
Like,
that.
it just sounds like
Yes.
a typical country record. Like I mean,
Mm.
awesome production and really good, but very polished and very clean. Where this,
Yeah.
there's a lot of this that sounds, it's polished, but it's got this like grit to it, and it's got this like
Mm.
edginess to it, and kind of dark. Like some of the tracks, like what was the one? I just got to pull the song list up in front of me. It'll help. Um, nope, not that one. Like American Gothic is cool. Like I love, that's probably my favorite song on the album, to be honest. I love that. Actually, Billy's cool. I love that track, dude.
Billy's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really...
such a tune. Such a tune. Calico Creek's cool as well. That's like one of the more, I think, accessible sort of tracks,
Mm.
along with,
But
yeah.
before we get too deep into the album,
Yes, sir.
you are listening to the Buds podcast, listener. Not you, Kyle. You're not listening. You're part of the Buds podcast.
I'm listening.
Everyone else who we can't see is listening to the Buds podcast, and we have been very, very long time friends. And at once we were almost rock stars, aspiring rock stars. We performed like rock stars, and now we're just about podcasters. On the odd occasion, we'll drop a podcast here and there.
Don't make me feel bad, man. Jeez.
No. This is both of us, man. This is both of us. But my name is Michael.
And I'm Kyle. And today we are bringing you, / tonight, wherever you're listening, we are bringing you Son of Dad by Stephen Wilson Jr., which was my pick this week. We've just been kind of skimming the surface of the album and what our initial thoughts were. What do you make of the cover, actually?
It's cool. Knowing more of his backstory now, it's... Yeah, because he's sitting with... There's like a light behind him, so it's kind of a silhouette, but it's a really dark picture. So he's sitting on a bar stool in a boxing ring with his acoustic guitar and a pea cap on, and it's all like black and red, so all the light has this red overtone. And it's like you were saying, it's got that very grungy... It almost gives me like Slipknot vibes for some of the Slipknot album covers. It's like...
It does,
It's got like a very, very like sort of darker metal sort of emotion to it. But knowing more of his backstory, the boxing ring is like... It's very poignant and like has so much meaning, because that's where he... like got very close with his dad, and that's where he like grew up loads as a person, and like a lot of his life lessons and stuff was learned in the boxing ring, and stemmed from there. So like the combination of the boxing ring and the music with his guitar and stuff, it just, yeah, it's really cool. It just sums up the album.
That's very cool. It was giving me a bit of a 21 Pilots vibe. I don't know why. Probably just the black and red and white, and then all the like symbolism around the edges, like that for me was also a bit of a...
Yeah, and the O's, the line coming through the O's.
Yes. Yeah, that's the other thing.
But yeah, I thought that as well when I was looking at it a little while ago. Yeah, very, very interesting parallels there. And I wonder how much... I mean, maybe they're like just very differently sort of derived ideas, like, you know, for the symbols and things around. But both Stephen Wilson Jr. and 21 Pilots kind of are like not gender bending, genre bending.
Gender bender. I'll be a man this album. Who knows what I'll be next album?
Genre bending albums, where he's like, is not that like neither of the bands or albums are like shy. Like between this one and Heavy Dirty Soul, Heavy Dirty Soul, they're like not shy of bringing in themes and colors from other genres, and like having like a full-on reggae song. Like Stephen Wilson Jr. has not got a reggae song, but 21 Pilots will have like loads of reggae, you know, throughout all their songs and stuff. And Stephen Wilson Jr. has like just lots of grunge and Americana. It's all kind of like roughly the same genre, but like instrumentation, but the genre like fluctuates quite a lot.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like what I touched on earlier. It's like that like some of them sound a lot more gritty and dark and heavy.
Mm.
And then you get like Calico Creek or what's the one about 1994?
Hollows from the Hollow.
Yes.
Are you thinking of songs that are more sort of like polished and things?
Yeah, like Year to Be Young, 1994. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Like those are like way more accessible and way more like, you know, clean sounding and just almost poppy, like borderline, like sort of poppy.
I think Not Letting Go. What's that one like? Yeah, that's Not Letting Go is quite a bit more accessible as well. It's got that like Americana sort of pop, or like country pop, more of an aesthetic. Not.
I mean, I think American Gothic could also be actually, especially with the like. I love the like call and response vocal in that. That's really cool. I love that girl's voice, man. Hayley Withers. She's got such a cool voice.
Yeah, I wonder if she was the one that I saw in that music video. I mean, it was kind of a music video, but yeah,
very cool.
the American Gothic's it's also the first sort of instance of that grunge influence quite a lot. And like it leans into like the song Year to Be Young, 1994. American Gothic is sort of the first sort of glimpse of what that was like for him and the bands he was listening to.
Yeah.
And things. Because I think that song, it's about him growing up as a kid in the country and like all the like very tangible, tactile experiences that make him think about his childhood.
Yeah. It's cool. Did you watch that video I sent you of when he does?
Oh no, I didn't.
The one to Be Young.
I didn't watch that in the end. Actually,
dude, it's so cool. He does it on Jules Holland. I'll put it in the show notes. It's so cool. He plays it on Later with Jules Holland, and right at the end he does what's that Nirvana song? It was like so smooth. He like basically ends the song and then he plays that. Dun, 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 dun. Oh man, what was it? Yes. All Apologies.
There we go. I got you there. I'm sorry for all our listeners.
Well done for getting it from my singing, quote unquote.
Yeah. I didn't have the lyrics. I knew the vocal inflections.
Yeah, dude.
That's a great.
But it was so smooth. He like basically like ends the song and he's strumming and then he just smoothly just goes into this dun, 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 and he just like plays that as the outro. And I was like,
that's so cool.
So cool. Like just so sweet. And it's a really cool performance because it's just him on his. Oh, actually, let's talk about that. Maybe I'm being naive here, but I don't hear a lot of nylon string anymore. Like he's playing like every track he's playing nylon string, man. And it creates it's such a cool atmosphere that like I don't know, it feels more like warm and like close. Like when you listen to it in headphones, like it just sounds so much nicer.
And I think that's where a lot of that like warm, crunchy overdrive is coming from. Because I think that it's when he cranks in the nylon string, it's when I think he's got an overdrive in that, or he's like cranking that through an amp or something. Because it's not like classical nylon string at all. It's like it's definitely amplified some way, and then when he like hammers down on it in big strums, that gives like a huge expanded sort of like crunchy grunge sound. It's like overdriving in a nylon in a steel string, but the nylon string has that warmth and undertone, and it's not as bright.
Right.
So a lot of those kinds of songs. Oh, they're maybe like, what's it, Mighty Beast?
Like that's a pretty dark one, but like it's a cool. Yeah, that was more of like a tactile one. Like you can just feel the like heaviness of that track. Like it was just cool, man. And just the guitar part's just so rad.
If you listen to the
Dong,
intro
dong,
of
dong,
Mighty Beast
dong.
now,
Yeah.
it's it starts off with like you can hear it's the nylon string, and if you think about the fact that he's playing on a nylon, when the whole band comes in and he's strumming and it like sounds heavily overdriven,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell that the tone has that warmth, and it's like kind of has the I don't know what the technical term is, but when the strings kind of shake too much, it goes like boom,
Oh
boom,
yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom, down, down. Because the strings are so loose on the nylon guitar, they almost like reverberate too much, or like over. Can you hear it with the acoustic with the nylon?
You know what this track reminds me of? There's
Mm.
a song by I'll tell you right now. It's a very not a far cry away from it, but um it's a Dave Matthews song.
Oh, yeah,
It's
because
on
Dave
before these
plays.
it's before these crowded streets. There's a song called um it's The Last Stop. It's the third track on Before These Crowded Streets. Um I don't know. It sounds so different now that I'm playing them right after one another, but but there is something there. There's like this, you'll probably know better. There's a chord in there that's like, it's very similar. But just listen to it, see what you think
Is this an intro?
of The Last Stop.
Is this at the? Yeah.
Yeah, just that like,
Is this at the beginning?
that thing.
Is that in the? Is that the same as what's or like similar to what
I don't know
Stephen
why
Wilson
that,
Jr. is?
yeah, I don't know why that just reminded me of um, Mighty Beast. Like the guitar parts there, just something about it like made me think of the other one. You know what I mean? Like I heard it and I went, oh, that sounds a bit like when I heard Stephen Wilson, I was like, oh, that sounds a bit like Dave Matthews. That there's like a bit of a Dave Matthews.
I think maybe what you're hearing is just the slight atonalness of it, because when he strums really hard on the nylon strings, it almost like he almost strums it like out of tune because they reverberate
Right.
too much. So it's not resonating very cleanly and in tune. It like sounds slightly distorted tonally,
Okay.
you know.
Right.
And I think it's that like atonal sound is what you might be associated with the Dave Matthews stuff. Because Dave Matthews actually, they're playing in a particular key or particular mode.
Right.
So those notes are intentional, but this one might just be like a slight dissonance
Got you.
in the notes because he's strumming hard. But it's part of the aesthetic. It's exactly what you were saying earlier with the it's not polished and super in tune all the time, you know. And that's that rawness and sort of imperfection in the music is what gives it the character of like his personality and what he's writing about and things, which is really cool.
Yeah. No, that's a cool one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mighty
actually,
Beast is really cool.
the other track I was thinking of when we were talking about sort of more sort of like accessible tracks was Patches. That's another one that's quite like, I don't want to say poppy, but it's that kind of, it's a lot easier to listen to than something like, I don't know, like Mighty Beast or even The Devil.
Yeah,
like I think
if Mighty Beast was Nirvana, then Patches is like rom-com sort of sounding. It's like very pretty, like slide guitar and all that.
That's
But even then, the whole like rhythm guitar behind his vocals, it's that nylon string again. And I should have thought about it while listening to it before. I just like let the music sort of play without actually paying attention to the guitar too much. But yeah, that nylon's throughout the whole thing. It really does.
Because the nylon, I don't know what it is about it, but like, well, he plays it on that Bert podcast, but he does it. It's on the deluxe version of this album. Is he does I'm a Song, live at the print shop. But dude, I don't know what it is about that track, but literally, I was like Bert. Like the first time I heard that, I just cried.
Mm.
I was like, this freaking beautiful. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But even that guitar, man, the way he plays it and the effect that he has on it, I don't know what he does, but it just sounds so cool. It's just like so much emotion. But it's a nylon thing, man. I don't know. It just sounded, it really got to me with that. I was just like, it just sounds so cool, so different. Like I haven't heard, like most country is just going to be some steel string like Martin, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and this is some like old junk guitar he bought from like some dude in like a car park or something, which is nuts.
Yeah.
And he's still just playing the same guitar.
Yeah, but that adds to the authenticity of his whole experience and how he's coming. His whole approach to this album is just entirely where he's at and who he is, and his story leading up to that point. And there's like zero pretense of like anything in this music or who he is, and which is, it's so refreshing as well.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a 22 track album, he's had stuff to say and he's just said it all without filtering.
22 tracks.
Which is it's probably one of my, like, I don't have much about this album at all that I would like critique or, you know, alter if I were to change anything about the album. But it might be that the original release of this album be like maybe just over half the songs.
Yeah.
And then this whole 22 track be a deluxe, and then like the stuff with the live can be like a super deluxe or something, you know?
Yeah.
If you want to go that way. Because I feel
agree,
like 12 tracks, you could pick out 12 tracks that tell the whole story, and it would be like a stronger album as an art form, you know?
Yeah, I wonder if it'd be interesting to see if the actual physical copy has 22 tracks on it. Would be, yeah.
It definitely can't be one disc with 22 tracks.
Yes. It's a lot. Like I said to you before, like I've listened to this album a few times and like, or quite a few times. And it's so funny because like I didn't even realize there were 22 tracks on it because it just, it flows. And honestly, because most of the time I'm listening like on Spotify or whatever. And so then I almost just assume that it's going to like an EP or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just the album's ended and it's gone somewhere else. And then, but alas, no, it's like full 22
like
tracks.
It's a good album. Like it's not like I think some of these songs are terrible. I just think there's like some songs maybe are more album tracks.
Yeah, it's not like,
know, like
all
like
killer, no filler,
deep,
you know?
Yeah, there's like
there's a couple fillers.
Filler, yeah. And those might be the songs that fit into like the more straight country sound.
I agree. And I think it's just because it's just too deep. 22 tracks is a lot. And to have all killer for 22 is quite a feat, I think.
Yeah.
It's
all
quite,
killer. Yeah.
You know, because the first, like, if I look at it just at a glance here, like those first, actually, no, wait, sorry, I'm looking at the deluxe version here, but the first maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe the first like 11, maybe 12 tracks are solid. I would probably throw Calico Creek into that 12.
Yeah,
11.
maybe take out Grief Is Only Love. I love the track, but maybe move that in place for something like Kid or Henry.
Henry, yo, dude, that was a sneaky one. I really like that song. I thought the lyrics
I don't know the backstory
beautiful.
of that song, but it is a really beautifully written song.
So that's about his stepson.
About his stepson.
Yeah. So
okay. I wasn't sure if he was the stepson.
No,
or something.
No. So he married he married a woman and she had a son already. I don't think they have kids. And so that's and he just ended up like getting on really well with this kid and now they're like best mates, but like, you know, and he married this kid's mom. Yeah. But I just thought it was such a beautiful song. Like
it is.
And I think if we like tap into a few themes here, like it's so cool because obviously he's writing this whole album from the perspective of like losing his dad and like who he is in his dad. And now it's so cool because like even though he hasn't had kids, he can still pass on that same thing to this kid. He can still be that influence in this kid's life.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really beautiful thing. It's just really, really, really sweet and really cool. And yeah, I don't know, like lyrically, it's just really well written. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, well, let's do quick sort of ear break, and then we'll come back and do hardcore themes for our listeners. So see you in about 15 seconds.
Ad.
See you? Yeah. I'd be amazed if we could see you now, because it's been 15 seconds, but hopefully you can still hear us. Can you all see me? Can you all hear me?
Can you all hear me? Yes.
Yeah, so Henry definitely touches on like his experience being a dad, albeit like a different sort of experience of being dad to what he experienced growing up. But it is like a very strong theme, is like fatherhood and family life. Sort of how that ties into all the other things in the album. But I mean, I feel like father-son is super, super obvious. Sort of takeaway of that theme. And what is he? Oh, come on, notes.
But it's interesting because it goes like, when you look at it, when if you like listen to that podcast or did a bit of digging on him, like it's interesting because his dad raised him, and I think he had 2 brothers, so it was 3 of them, 3 boys, and his dad was a single dad because his mom was like, I don't know, had all sorts of stuff going on, and she had her own troubles.
He didn't really go into that too much,
which is, it kind of gives it a new light, because it's not like, it was just this like normal household and stuff, and his dad was like, raising 3 kids alone while running a workshop and like a body shop and running a farm, and like it's like it's pretty crazy. And I just think, it's just, and I think he also writes really honestly about like what life was like. I don't think it was this like sort of glamorized version of like country living, like woo, like women and booze and whatever. He writes like about real
and
like
tailgating.
He's like writing about real hardworking people, and like literally like not having money and having to work your bum off to make rent and pay off bills and stuff. And again, it ties into his authenticity, and like it's I don't know, it was really cool.
I think a lot of people don't often realize how how sort of rural America is quite rural. Like it's not like they have a lot of money, they just live in the countryside. Like often families who live out in the countryside, there isn't much infrastructure, and for the most part, like they are left to their own devices. It's not as connected as being in a city in America, like I feel like the music can often portray a slightly more glossed reality of being country, or maybe it's like a sort of fake, quote unquote, expression of what living in the country is, or growing up in the country. But listening to this album, you get so much more of what that was like for Stephen, especially like songs like Calico Creek and Hollers from the Holler and things, where he's like talking about realities of growing up and basically the kind of stuff they got up to. It's very like bare bones childhood living. Like there's no like sort of glitz and glamour,
but also
about growing up in the country,
Something so beautiful in that though, like in Calico Creek, when he talks about like just like literally just like going to swim in that creek like after Sunday school, and like playing with your mates, and like just staying out till dark, and like it's really cool. But I remember watching a documentary years ago where like this guy was I can't remember what it was about, but I remember this guy just saying like, "Oh yeah, my neighbor," and they lived in like flipping arse end of nowhere in America. Like it was just in the middle, literally in the middle of nowhere. And he was like, "Yeah, my nearest neighbor's like 5 kilometers away or something." And I was like, "What? That's that's
Yeah,
insane." I'm like, "Where is like the nearest hospital if your neighbor's 5 k's away? Like, where is?"
dude.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine that isolation though? Like, what must that be
yeah.
like?
Well, um,
It's
like
crazy.
Pete and Megan, who moved to
Yeah.
Australia, Megan's dad, he has a farm in Limpopo,
Oh yeah.
and their like closest neighbors are their like whole support structure in that whole environment. Like they look after each other, they share things across their farms.
Mm.
He has like I think like deer and things on his farm that he farms, but he's like completely off the grid, like all solar panels and things like that.
That's insane. That's
And
so
yeah,
cool.
hospitals not close at all.
Yeah.
But that's yeah. What would you explain? Like that's the only other thing I can think of
Yeah.
in South Africa.
It's just because I don't think
So
we
like farm
really,
living.
I don't think we get that. Like, definitely not in the UK. Like,
No.
maybe some parts of the UK are that sort of isolated, maybe up north in Scotland or something. But
Mm,
like around here, it's like
mm,
you can barely swing a cat and you'll hit someone. It's like,
yeah, but I think yeah, it's interesting because in the UK, I wonder if how much of that is attributed to the slightly more like socialist aspect of our society and like NHS and
hmm,
like infrastructure just being a bit more well developed. Where in the States, they have infrastructure of like streets and telephone poles and things, but like the there's no like universal medical
yeah, yeah,
cover that's like it's not like as accessible and as
right,
helpful maybe.
yeah,
So like you could live in a country town here and still be pretty connected.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I meant
But
just
it is
more
also a
in,
smaller country as well.
of
There's
course,
just a
yeah.
lot more
I mean,
space in the
America's
States.
just
So
flipping massive,
yeah.
Because I mean, there's parts of South Africa that, like in the Karoo and stuff, where it's similar to America, where it's just so huge that like that you might not see anyone for a good few like 100 kilometers. you know, it's like those farmers in the Karoo and stuff, man. Like there's so much
Yeah.
land between them. Like it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Who was I can't remember who I was talking to about this. This might have been at work actually. But I was talking to someone about living on cruise ships, and when we were in
Oh
Australia,
yeah.
we'd get those midday announcements from like the captain, and be like,
Mm.
"This is the temperature, and this is where we're at, and the closest land to us is this far in this direction." And I remember one of the days the captain was like, "The closest land to us is 5 kilometers down in the water," and I was like, "Holy crap! If anything happens." We are 5 k's under, and like no one's close to us.
It's true, and like when we did that transatlantic crossing, and they were like, and you would like slap bang. I think I've still got that photo
Mm.
you took where we were like
Yeah,
literally
I
over
like
where,
screenshot maps or
yeah,
something. Yeah,
like where the
so
Titanic
cool.
sank or whatever, and we were like in the middle of the Atlantic, and it's just like if something happens now, like we
Yeah,
are stuffed. Like there's
yeah,
nothing that's
dude.
gonna happen. Like you're just so far away from everything. But
Yeah,
yeah, I can't. I guess, yeah. And I guess that's why a lot of this is just my own personal opinion, but I guess that's also why a lot of those like rural American towns and people kind of just do their own thing because they almost don't have to answer to anyone. They just kind of like,
yeah.
you know,
Kind of a law unto themselves.
yeah. And it makes
Mm.
sense. Um, yeah.
Makes me think of True Detective season one
Yeah.
with those guys. That's hardcore, man.
Jeez,
Different,
dude.
another level.
That was such a good series. Oh my word. The first thing that popped into my mind for some reason was Parks and Rec when they go to Ron's mom, Ron Swanson.
Yeah,
They like go to like her house. It's like so random. She lives in like rural Indiana, and she's like on this like little like piece of land in the middle of nowhere, and she's got like no one around her. And then he's somebody asks her something, and he's like, is that a real gun? And she's like, yes. You telling me I can't keep a gun on my own property? And he's like, no, ma'am. And then somebody looks at another character and they're like, yep, that's Ron's mom.
Yeah.
Really funny. I was just like thinking about that. I'm like, yep, that's probably, they're just a law unto themselves, man. They just do whatever they want.
Well, what song is that? Is it I wonder if it is Father Son, where he talks about I think it's that song where he talks about he gets his granddad's rifle and his daddy's name.
Yes, yeah, he says that.
Is that Father Son as well?
Opening verse, yeah, he said he was named by my grandma. She got it from the Bible, and he passed it on to me like granddaddy's rifle.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
yeah, raised me up.
And just like how normal that kind of thing is.
What did he say there? Raised me up like sweet corn, created a disciple. Yeah, forgot it like hell he became a rival. It's really like his, like, aside from the country thing, like his lyrics and his phrasing and his songwriting is really awesome, actually. He's got some incredible lyrics, and like when you just read through the lyrics, it's like, it's really poetic and just super clever. Super clever.
And it's funny how he attributes that side of himself, that like creative flair that he feels, like he can only think that comes from his mom's side.
Yeah.
Which when I was listening to the podcast, I thought it's just really interesting how the creativity he got from his mom is allowing him to express this closeness and experience that he's had with his dad. And like filtering all this experience, even though his mom might not have been in the picture the whole time, like what he got from her is helping him express this. Which I thought was like a really beautiful way of recognizing, like, even though it's called Son of Dad, but like son of mom is the energy behind like expressing Son of Dad. It's just
sure. Yeah. That's cool. It's cool. I think what I also like about it is that he doesn't like, he's clearly like so different from his dad, and he touches on that in that interview, but he said like, I was so different from my dad growing up, like we had different interests, and okay, they had the boxing thing, which was like the one interest, but he's like, you know, we had such different interests, but he still saw like the amazing stuff in his dad, and like what his dad was feeding into him, and like still supported him, and like, and he acknowledges that, you know, he doesn't just like write off his dad because he's different from him, you know, he kind of accepts those differences and still loves his dad. Like, I think that's really cool, because you know, a lot of especially teenagers would probably just be like, well, we're so different, like whatever, like I'm not gonna you know, engage in this, or you know, distance themselves, or I think it's really cool. And he sort of talks about it in the song as well, and then he just like lyrics like that where he says you want to change my name, got to drain my blood, like that's such a cool lyric. Like you know, like he wears, they're actually the bridge, I wear his blue jean jacket and his name like a badge of honor. I used to hate being called Junior, now I don't mind any longer. I thought that's so beautiful, man. Like, it's really cool. He's just like,
it's like the whole full circle thing. Because I mean, every teenager experiences this, where you feel so different and unlike your parents, or you don't want to be like your parents. But then the more I grow up, the more I see how I'm like my mom. And I mean, I've got a very like distant and estranged relationship. Well, I don't have a relationship with my father, but I can, from things I've seen at a distance, there's like, I suppose, like the sense of humor that I sometimes express, and the playfulness that I like to feel in situations, even that might be too tense for that. Like, I'm like joking. Sheree always tells me I start joking too soon after we've like made up from a fight or something. Or I'll like joke about what we've just fought about. And she's like, too soon, Michael, just give us some space.
You just go sit in the other room and think about it.
Yeah. Just Just don't mention it for a while, and then we can come back. But I think like things like that, I imagine are more from my dad's side, but I don't know him to know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
That's
growing
interesting.
up, I always thought that I didn't want to be anything like my dad because I had a very particular impression of what my dad was like.
Yeah.
Or just the fact that he wasn't present, which wasn't only his fault, but I wanted, I thought growing up that when I became a dad or husband, like partner, I wanted to be present in ways that I thought my dad wasn't, you know.
Mm,
But now growing up, I can see ways that I might be similar to him without realizing that sooner.
right. That's
And it's
yeah.
like in father's son, he's realized that like his his own like Stephen Wilson Jr.'s identity is found in his likeness to his dad, not like in spite of his likeness to his dad, you know.
Mm,
Um,
sure. Yeah.
yeah,
Well said. That's really cool. Sure. It is true though. Like you do start to see, you do start to see yourself. Because like even things, it's so funny. Like things I'll say to Jude now, like I'll, tell him off about something, and I'll just be like, just takes me straight back to like my mom like shouting at me or something, and I'm just like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, I'm becoming her. Or even, although my dad was different. My dad was very quiet, so he would just give you a look, or he would just say something very calmly, and you'd just be like, oh crap.
yeah.
It was more that I'm very
Karl Mark.
it was more that my dad was very much, my mom was more the like, she would express her emotion and like she would shout, or she
Yo,
would,
Bliksem.
yeah. Whereas my dad would be like, it was almost worse with my dad because he wouldn't say anything and he would just be like very quiet. He was always quiet anyway, but he would be quiet and then he just wouldn't say anything. And then eventually he'd just be like, I'm very disappointed. And it'd just be like, like through the heart, and you'd just be like, oh, I feel so much worse. I'm like, no, just shout, like give me a smack, like do something.
Yeah.
Like don't just be disappointed. Like I'd rather you scream at me at this point.
Yeah.
Oh man. And it's funny. And it's just funny how but then at the same time, like I see with my brothers how different we all are. Like, and coming from the same household, you just see how you would think that you would all be sort of similar in some ways. And then we're just not, we all get on obviously and we all like mates, but we're just very different people, like across the board.
Yeah,
like, very different people. And even though we're raised by the same people, we still react differently and like we parent differently, and we like, it's interesting. It's interesting how like all those things shape you, but can also make you so different.
So who would you say of the three of you, the brothers that is, who's more like who's more like your dad and who's more like your mom? In just like general personality. Are you allowed to say this on the podcast? You're gonna make enemies.
I don't think they listen to this. I'd like to think they do, but I don't think they do. I don't know, because it was so weird. Like my dad was very, I think I'm more like my dad in the introverted side, where like I need my own time to sort of recuperate and like just be and process and be in my thoughts. Whereas like my brothers are very social and very like, like a lot more extroverted than I am. I don't know. But then I don't know. I'm probably louder and more expressive than my dad was. Weirdly, like my dad was. I don't know. My dad was very quiet. Like he was great though. Like he'd be like super social and stuff if people were around, but like he was very happy to be in his own company and stuff, which is where we're very similar, because I was always like that. Whereas my brothers weren't. My brothers would always be like out, like in the house, like socializing. Where when I was growing up, I was quite happy just sitting in my room, listening to music, doing art, drawing, whatever I was doing. I don't know, reading. I was pretty chill doing that. So yeah, I think there's elements, but no, my mom's definitely. But then also, like, as I've grown older, I've definitely, I can see my mom, like the side of my mom in me, where I'm more of a risk taker, and I'll like just do stuff and just be like, meh, let's just see what happens. And you know, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of negating myself, because it's kind of like I see that, but then I also see the like the calculated risk. I would take calculated risk. I wouldn't just be like, you know, it's just whatever. It's just like, so, and that's my dad. Like my dad was very like cautious with stuff. Like he wasn't a risk taker, whereas my mom was. So they balanced each other out. But like, yeah. So I can see both sides. And you?
Yeah.
Because I know, I obviously, like you say, like yours is a little bit more complicated. But like, what about your mom do you see? Because obviously you know her better. But like,
I think my mom's always been very open about her affection and love for me, which I always just sort of took for granted. But now, having my daughter, like I will take any opportunity that she'll let me have to like give her a hug or give her a kiss or something, you know. And my mom was like that as well, and it would irk me because I just feel like, just let me have my own space. She just feel like, come up and just randomly give me a hug. I'm like, I don't want a hug right now. But now I'm that guy. I just want to like give her hugs all the time. So I'm very affectionate, like my mom is. But
do you give your mom random hugs when you see her?
I don't. I could be better at that. I could, because I got so many as a kid. Like I'm random hugged out. I love my mom 2 bits though, and I could call her all the time and things. I think with my mom as well, there's a sort of adventurous, kind of enjoy living outside of the box with things. Like my mom, when I was in school, like sort of end of school and like in university and stuff. My mom, she's, for the listeners, my mom's worked at a military hospital in South Africa for pretty much all my life. And she went on deployment with the UN to the Congo. And like one time she went for like 6 months or 8 months or something. Just like living in the jungle, working on a helicopter, picking up people who have been injured across borders and stuff. And that was just like her life, and she loved it. She's like absolutely loved it. And I think it's like that aspect of sort of being adventurous and living out on like on the edge of just like comfortable living, you know, that I thoroughly embrace, and I really enjoy that side. So I think I get that from my mom as well. Obviously, I've got no idea what my dad's like in that sense. But yeah, my mom's definitely like that. And like I was in scouts in school and loved going on camps and huge like 100-kilometer hikes and like over 10 days kinds of thing. And just loads of fun.
I can attest to that. You don't have any real sort of fear about things generally.
Yeah.
You're pretty up for anything.
Yeah, I'm very go with the flow. No. I'm like totally uncalculated and go with the flow. I'm like the opposite of you in that sense.
Well, I'm calculated in the sense that it's so funny because in my own head, I think, man, I really don't think too much about stuff. But yeah, oh, sorry. You can edit this out. I just got a text from Nicola.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, it's weird because in my own head, I think, I don't really think too much about stuff. But then, I guess when I step back, I do calculate and I do. But yeah, I just don't want to I just don't want to put myself in like I just don't want to put like, so for example, with like starting the business, for example, like I didn't, I remember like Nicola was just like, yeah, let's just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, okay, so it fails and fine, then it fails. I was like, yeah, but no, there's so much that can go wrong. There's like, you know, and then once we sat down and like kind of wrote out like pros and cons and what the process would be like to do this and that and the other, then it's like, okay, cool. Like once I've made that up in my mind, I'm like, okay, great. I've calculated it.
Mm.
And yes, there's a risk and whatever. And then cool, let's just go for it and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I do need to sort of, kind of have a, but yeah, it's interesting.
Mm. But I think it's different with something like your business. Sorry, we're kind of tangenting slightly off the album now.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, but with the business, like with the school you guys have, I think, like, I mean, starting any business venture is a huge risk. But now that you have it and it's up and running and it's been going well for 6 years or something, it's like now you don't have to be super risk. You don't have to like, no, what? Like it's you. Sorry, I'm getting my sort of tenses wrong. You can be risk averse now because it's like it's both your and Nikki's like full-time salaries,
Yeah.
and you're responsible for other people's jobs and things. So it's like that the stage where risk was acceptable in that is past because you're in a different stage of the business. But you could always be more risk taking in like other sides and like personal life and fun times and things like that.
Also with the business though, like is an element of, well, that's the other thing is like it gets to a point where like the business is sort of taking care of itself, sort of.
Yeah.
And it's kind of at the level and it's just doing its thing. And then other risks come into play. So like you said, like hiring other people is a risk because you don't know, you don't know what people are like. You don't, luckily we've had an amazing run. Like we've had some incredible people, but you just, you don't know. That's a risk. It's also then, okay, where do we go next? Because you're constantly thinking about like the next step or working on something to take the business to another level or another revenue stream or whatever. Like you don't
want to be complacent.
No, you kind of have to be thinking about like, okay, where do we go next? Where Nicola's amazing with that because sometimes I get caught up in the like everyday, and Nix is amazing with like, oh, let's think about this. She's very like,
it's like vision casting.
Yeah, she's very much good with thinking ahead and seeing the like stepping back and looking at everything where I'm very much like in it and I'm like I just want to deal with this stuff today and deal with this person whatever, like
daily runnings
so so we still have that like where I'll be like, no, I don't know, that sounds risky. She's like, no, just try it. Like, I don't know, I guess that's just always going to be the case. Sorry, that's my mic. But yeah, I mean, would you ever start a business? Is there anything that you've ever thought about?
I don't know. I think
like OnlyFans or something.
Who says I don't?
You're living very humbly if you are making millions on OnlyFans.
My hairy toes do me well.
Dude, there'll be a market for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, there could be. Thing is,
that's so funny.
I think my skill set probably doesn't lend particularly well to entrepreneurship, but I think where you said you're more of like a day to day running things, keeping things going, because I'm like very present minded. I struggle like what Nikki does, like think forward about like where can this go, where like Sheree does that really well for like us as a family.
Yeah.
Like her mind's constantly darting to ways of saving and planning for like buying house and holidays and things like that. And I'm like, today my priority is the kitchen's got to get cleaned because dinner's got to get made.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah.
And so like I think I would execute plans really well, and I would be a really good, dependable person to get things done in a day to day. But I'm not the right person to start something.
Yeah, but we saw that in the band, man. Like it was amazing because we would just be like, okay, we need to do this, and you were just like, yeah, awesome, let's go.
Yeah.
Mike, we're
Yeah.
going on a cruise contract. Okay, great. Where do I go? Where's the plane?
Cool. Where are we going? What songs are we learning?
Oh man. Yeah, but that's also not a bad thing. I think
Mm.
that's a huge asset actually. It's
Because
really
if
cool.
everyone's a leader, you're just gonna like you can like
Yeah,
easily like butt heads and go in circles and stuff.
but it's
If everyone's trying to steer the ship.
it's really cool. Like because I also know you so well, and I know that you can also
Mm.
you'll still throw in your opinion, and like if something doesn't work, you'd be like, hey, how about we try it this way, or we do it that way, or whatever, which is
Mm,
good,
mm.
you know. Because even like now when we've hired people, like we've had like one person we hired recently, like she's been amazing. Like she's just, she's just like yes, or very like honest. We're like, yeah, I can do that, or I can't do that, or but very like um kind of if she notices a problem or if she she takes initiative. So like if she sees something that's not right, or she doesn't like bother us with every little thing. She kind of just takes initiative and
Mm,
goes,
mm,
okay, great,
mm,
I'll just do that right now. Then that saves somebody else
mm.
work down the line, which is
Yeah,
huge,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
very cool.
yeah,
Um, because then yeah, anyway, but yeah, I think that's anyway. We digress.
yeah.
I don't
A
know
little
where we
bit.
were.
I'm gonna insert a quick little
Yeah.
a little audio break. Rest your ears, and then we'll come back in 2 seconds. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was a great tangent.
I don't know where we left off, to be honest.
I don't know. I think
Rural
honestly it was
America.
about like it
That's
was talking about how we resembled our parents,
that's right.
and then the distinctives of
Yeah,
like our
yeah, yeah.
personalities and stuff.
There we go.
But I thought like another huge theme in this album, to get back to the album,
Yeah.
is the idea of self and different aspects of his self.
Mm.
Sort of starting with Billy, because Billy is like it leans heavily in the nostalgia of being from country, but it's
Yeah.
like I found it's sort of reclaiming pride for deep country roots, and it starts. That's sort of the song where he starts fleshing out his identity and who he is as a person. Because country is not just it's not just like or rather country is like who he is, and it's not just a culture that he's a part of, or
Yeah.
like it's not just in his past, but like how he expresses himself.
It's like in his
Like, is this the
bones.
same? Yeah, is this the same song where he speaks about his boots and things, or is that no, that's Hometown,
Yeah.
where he speaks about his old dirty boots, or like brown leather boots or something. But everywhere where he goes, he embodies what country is, because that is who he is. It's also just such a fun song as well.
Yeah. I mean that verse too. Collard green, cast iron, cornbread, pig on the griddle. Out in the back is a soundtrack stacked with a fiddle, with words stretched wide as a tan mountain lion hide. Spoke slow and deeply fried.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
it's so graphic. I love that.
yeah.
That
It's
metaphor.
it's brilliant, man. I was singing this
Spoke so
chorus like the
deeply.
whole week. This you can call me Billy, but the
You
heels
can call
come
me
with me.
Billy, but the heels
Half
come
mud
with me.
blood,
Hey,
half mule kick, whiskey.
hey, whiskey.
I
It's
love
so
it.
good, man. It's such a bop. Like you just groove with it. Like your head just can't stop. Well, you got a. Thought you had a third hand there for a second.
No. Yeah, what was the other one? But yeah, exactly what you said. It just takes you straight. It's so like visceral. Like it just takes you right to like I don't know, I have this vision of like being in his backyard, like on the farm, just running around, jumping into creeks, like I don't know, just sunny days, kind of not much to do, but you find stuff to do and you're just hanging out with your friends and there's yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's just a cool. Cannonball in the kiddie pool. That's a good one.
Such like simple things, man. But it's
What did he say? Yeah. Anyway, there's some great lyrics in this one. And there's, what was the other one that's also quite touches on, well, Calico Creek sort of fits into that as well, like sort of that reclaiming his country identity.
It's kind of like what the untamed lands that they can just roam in, like what, it's kind of it's so much of this album, and the nostalgia behind the album makes me think of Suburbs.
Yeah.
Just all that like looking back at childhood and what it meant to them, but then also stepping out of that town, and like in the Suburbs spoke about kind of being a kid or a teenager where you grow up. It's like an incubator and you've got to get out of that. But where Stephen kind of expresses getting out of that as feeling out of place, because it's so distinct where he's come from. Like you can't just step out and go to like New York when you've been growing up in the country, because it just doesn't fit. It's like chalk and cheese, and is it I think it's Hometown that speaks about people. Oh, there's that beautiful line. Let me try and find that one.
Yes, this is what I was thinking of. He says in Hometown, he says, "How'd I end up here where I don't belong? Like a steel guitar in a disco song." I've been going nowhere since I've been gone. How'd I end up here where I don't belong? It's true, and it's that I think. And what was really cool is also, like he said in that interview, was like, for most kids, like sort of rock and roll or like something like that is like their ticket out of their small town. And he was like, science was like because he was obviously he was a scientist, right?
Yeah.
So he was just like, no, like I had an aptitude for science, and so science was my way out, which I thought was really like kind of rock star in itself. It's just like so
cool, man.
So different. Like that was his strength, and that's what got him to kind of get out and see the world. And it blows my mind, because I just think he was just this kid learning guitar, playing in bands, whatever. And then like now, I mean, he's playing in London in like October. And I just think that,
that's cool.
Those worlds must be so different. Like it's kind of like Kings of Leon too, like growing up in like rural Tennessee. And then you and then you come to like a big city like London. It must be just like a whole nother world. It must be so bizarre.
Which is so weird, because the first time I heard Kings of Leon, first time I heard their music, I thought they were British.
Right. Yeah.
Which is so bizarre.
Like the Killers, right? Because I remember like Kings of Leon and the Killers were sort of like around the same time, but they broke the UK before they broke America. It was
in the Killers. The Killers.
Yeah, and Kings of Leon. Yeah. They were bigger here. I remember Kings of Leon saying like, and the Killers as well, they were saying like they would come over here and they would play like Brixton Academy, or they would play like some small arena, and they would go back to America and they would play like some dive bar. So they would come over here, do like a little like, theater tour, and they'd be playing to like 2,000-3,000 people or whatever. Then they would go back to the States and literally just be playing like a dive bar in front of the barman. Like that was like for years, which is crazy.
I wonder if that's like attributed to the size of the country and how quickly something can spread in the UK.
Yeah.
As opposed to in the States. Like you're essentially trying to crack like 50 countries.
Also just
it's like so many different.
I guess just its appeal as well. Because like Kings of Leon were very like rock and roll. Like they were that, the stereotypical like American rock and roll kind of thing. And they just had a cool sound, obviously, but like, I don't know. It's interesting because I guess in America, that's nothing. It wouldn't have been anything really new. It was kind of like,
no, not necessarily.
I don't know. Oh, sorry, I just need to let this cat out. Oh, it's going nuts. Sorry.
Nibbler making his weekly podcast appearance.
He was so quiet, and now he's like.
So the lyric I was looking for in Hometown is that I thought was just a really, I don't know how to explain, but it says, the air is thick and they smile too thin. There ain't no wildflowers blowing here in the wind. These black boots just don't fit in. And it's so descriptive of, in cities and things, the air being too thick and the smiles are too thin.
Oh man,
And you
that's
can
a
just think
great
like
lyric.
in the fresh air in the country and being so like thin and light, but then the smiles being so deep and genuine. And just like swapping that around when you leave the countryside to like a city, it's just
And you're not just a
I can
name
like
in a city, like like in a city. Oh, sorry, not just a number. Like in a small town, like people know you and they know your family
yeah.
and they know like yeah, yo, that's a really cool lyric. I actually missed that. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I think it's in the chorus or like the
Oh, there it is. Yeah, yeah. Verse
pre-chorus or
two, verse
something.
two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the air is thick and they smell too thin. No more flash blowing here. That's so cool, man. Flip.
And another song in the whole sort of self and like where he speaks about his journey of sort of becoming who he is. And I think where it's kind of like, I suppose where this authenticity comes from is in Patches, which you mentioned earlier, where there's like, his sort of the main emotion is just gratitude for all the hardships he's gone through.
Yeah.
And I like his patches are patches, but he wouldn't be who he is without his patches. And it's not like you can take the patches down and he would still be himself, like he is the patches. And there's the line, being broken down is how I was built. There's another square on the quilt. And it's just, because you can't take a quilt apart and have a blanket. Like you're just going to have pieces of material,
Sure, yeah.
So it's just, yeah, just really, really lovely way of reframing so much that's happened to him.
Sorry, I was just like reading through some of these lyrics. They're just so good, man. Like it's so poetic. Like I love that chorus.
And he's a songwriter, isn't he? Like for other people as well.
He might have been.
That was part of his story.
Yeah.
He worked in Nashville.
Yeah.
He was a songwriter in Nashville for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just great. But like that chorus is so good. I got rent that ain't spent yet, hiding out of my mattress. I got rods that weren't real. I got
so country, man.
I got scars that won't heal. I've got a torn I'm a torn cigarette, wet book of matches. My patches got patches. So good.
Yeah, so good.
So good. Oh man, epic. I was looking, there was another track. I think there was one more that sort of fits into this. I think might quite obviously. No, we discussed that one. Hometown. What was the other one? Was this? Sorry, I'm just having a quick look. No, that's more of a love song. Never mind. I thought it was.
Right.
I thought for what it's worth, but no, that's.
Oh yeah. That was like
It's definitely more of a.
So in my mind, Werewolf and Mighty Beast are kind of like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
What did you make of those tracks?
Why did I?
What did you make, or like what do you think of those tracks? Or
well, hang on. I'm just gonna pull up the lyrics here. So, well, Mighty Beast for me was like, it almost feels more, almost like he's like wrestling some sort of like inner demon. And Werewolf for me was like, it was something external.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So if you look at, also musically, I just felt like Mighty Beast was just heavier and darker and more like, like more intense, more like just like heavy. And I felt like that was more like internal, like he's dealing with this like heaviness inside, and he's struggling against this inner voice or like inner demon or whatever, like kind of fighting for his attention or whatever, and he's just Where's the lyric? I was like heavy in Mighty Beast is like heavy biblical like connotations and stuff where he says like where is it? Oh, sounds like ain't no hope for me, you and I, a crown of thorns are doomed to die the day we're born. Break the bread and tell the priest a sinful man is a mighty beast.
Yeah, that was a peculiar lyric. Even now I'm still trying to like figure out what that.
I don't know what like Southland Jubilee is. That still sort of eluded me, but then let me go back to Werewolf. See, like this almost seemed like an external thing as a kid, because there he says like kids see shit that kids shouldn't see, and there's a shadow I wear everywhere I am, like the roots of a tree wrapped around an old coffee can. But like I feel like that's maybe to do with like stuff he saw with his parents' marriage as a kid, or like that like darker side, because obviously his mom had some of her own demons, I guess, like addictions and stuff like that. And I wonder if that's maybe just something, you know, that he had to deal with. And like he obviously calls it a werewolf, but this like external thing that he has to see and deal with. And now he's carrying that into adulthood. And yeah, I guess at some point you're going to have to face it and like kind of make peace with that and not be scared of the werewolf anymore. You know, like he says there, I ain't up there saying I've made peace with the beast, but I threw him in a cage the best that I could. And I know he's there, but I'm no longer scared of the werewolf. I try to tame him with Jesus and Jim Beam. This verse is amazing. I try to tame him with Jesus and Jim Beam. I thought I needed him around to defend me. And I see the sun through the leaves, and I hope up ahead, but moons still get full, so I ain't out of the woods quite yet. Dude, like so cool. What was that opening lyric he says?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, yeah, that's the one. That's probably the most emotive lyric on the album, I think. That's
I know. That's pretty much the thesis of what he's trying to say.
That first one, I guess that's where you could think it's an internal thing, where he says there's a dark side running around in me, kids see, blah, blah. But I think it's more for me, it's more an external thing that he's now carrying with him. What?
You got a little nip slip going on there.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Haven't seen your nipples in a while.
Oh, sorry, this isn't OnlyFans.
We should. All of a sudden, you've hit the paywall now. You're going to pay to listen to the rest of this episode.
And this is where our fans can join us on Patreon for...
if you want to hear the rest of this and see where it goes.
It's just us working out in the gym. But you would be the cash cow for that. Anyway, so I think it's this like external thing that he's bringing, like he's internalized, but he's experienced it externally, but now he's like carrying it with him, and he's taking it into adulthood, and he's still trying to deal with the same thing, you know. And I guess as adults, there's things that you remember from childhood, but you just bury it because you're just kind of like, okay, that was so long ago. Like you're not going to think about it or whatever. And every now and again they creep up and they, you know, you sort of think about them again or whatever. But yeah, which is weird because I almost feel like this is heavier content than Mighty Beast in a way. So I feel like this should almost be heavier music wise and feel wise.
Yeah, well, I've got my sort of theories behind the song. Because musically, this song feels sadder, The Werewolf. because even when he sings it, it's like I've square dance with demons and I've stepped on my feet, and it's a bit more like sway and like melancholic, and then Mighty Beast has that like aggressive front to it, and I kind of sort of subtitled the songs myself, if you would. I've got a fly jump on my screen, where like the werewolf is sort of about the hidden self.
Okay.
Things that are there that he doesn't show, but Mighty Beast is the dark self.
Mm-hmm.
And
sure, yeah.
So it's kind of like what you're saying. There's a dark side running around in me. Kids see shit that kids shouldn't see. I'm like paraphrasing through different lyrics. I know he's still there, but I'm no longer scared of the werewolf. And it's like he's not made. It's like the werewolf is like the remnant from like past trauma and hardships. And he's not made peace with it, but he's no longer scared of it.
Okay.
And like accepting or taming haven't worked, so he's just buried that trauma deep down. And then Mighty Beast is. I had like two thoughts about it. Like one of them was, like it seems like a song about the instinct to survive by all means, and relying on the darkest part of our nature to like help us get through that. It makes me think of My Blood in 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
That music video where it's like his big brother or like his mate sort of helping him throughout all those things, but then it's really just been him.
Right.
And that's kind of what I had in mind for this, where it's like the dark self. Yeah. I said, but then I had another thought, like maybe it's about the resilience of like the darkest natures and its drive to like, it's like resistances for us to tame it, whether it's like religion or drink or other. So I'm trying to make sense of my notes over here. But there's like a sense of general despair, to indulge in the darkness, to survive. So it's kind of like, yeah, the hidden self is like trauma that is like buried deep down, and yeah, it's kind of like how he really feels and how he really thinks in different situations because of what he's gone through. But then the Mighty Beast is more of like sort of
at the forefront.
That it's that being like acted out.
Yeah,
you know, it's like him acting. It's more like a primal reaction to things around him. Where it's like all that trauma is like sort of manifesting in how he's behaving and responding to situations. I don't know. That was like my...
Yeah, I know. It makes sense. Or even like Mighty Beast might even be the sort of thing that subconscious that slips through every now and again that he kind of almost can't control. That just sort of, you know what I mean? That like gets unleashed. Like something causes him to react in a certain way, and he's just like, wah, you know, and then he's like, whoa, like that was buried, but now it's
yeah. Because I almost thought it was like a defense mechanism, like an uncontrolled defense mechanism. Because there's the line where it says, "I'd rather be a mighty beast than wither up and dry." So it's like, let me get I've got Werewolf up at the moment. Get the actual Mighty Beast lyrics. Yeah, they in the verse 1, they can steer me to the slaughter, and I'll hold my head up high, because I'd rather be a mighty beast than wither up and die. It's like that defiance. Can lead me to the water, I'll drown myself in rye. Yeah, it's like his songs as well. I found, sorry, this is more like a general point, but they're relatively simple. Like he's got like, often he's like in Mighty Beast, he's got a couple short verses and then just a lot of choruses. But he's so effective with the words he chooses.
Yeah.
It's just, he sort of conveys so much feeling and emotion, like selecting words so carefully and so well. He doesn't have to have these long extended verses to be able to explain something. Which is so good. Like and like it's kind
Yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
No. You go.
No. It's not that important. Carry on.
I was going to say it's kind of like John Mayer in that sense, where John Mayer would just say a couple words or like say 2 lines, and you just have this whole fleshed out picture of like a whole experience you've already gone through in your life. It's that it'll take you like 500 words to explain that experience. But John Mayer's just like wrapped it up in 2 lines, you know.
Yeah. See, like a band for me that does that, that's always done that, is Reliant K. There's like, there's so many songs of theirs, obviously not like the jokey ones, but like the actual serious, like really good ones. So like there's so many songs like that where I just can relate, and I'm just like, oh my word, like I should have been able to put this into words, but you did. Like, you know. But yeah.
And you know, a band that's like opposite to that is Youth and Young Manhood, where he says so much and you've got no idea what he's saying. I should have known he's from the country just from listening to that album.
I love it. There's that one song. Oh, what is that one song on their first album? Oh, well, Youth and Young Manhood. But I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out, and he literally just says that like the whole chorus, and you just like, and I think he says like, I'm gonna shake my face off or something. I think that's the actual lyric or something, like it's something random, and literally it just sounds like he goes, I'm gonna shake my face, I'm gonna shake my face, and it's just like, oh my gosh, dude, like, and then it's so funny though, because that like journey is hilarious over Kings of Leon, because it's like every album is like lyrics become more clear and then eventually it's like,
well, he was probably off his face when he said that.
Dude, he's probably flipping high as a kite.
So now here's where it kind of gets a bit more sort of more in like the love and grief, like the grief is only love. Sorry, we'll do a little sound break over here, and go have a break, have a cup of tea, have a Nestle Kit Kat.
Have a cup of
Hashtag not sponsored. Okay, and welcome back. Yeah, grief is only love. I thought was like a beautifully empathetic and like profound way of talking about grief, because I heard people speak about grief before, but just like grief is love having no place to go. It's just like, oh, like how
it's a cool lyric.
That's just gorgeous, man. That's so good. Such like, and that's like the kind of insight that comes from experience as well. Like that's, you can't fake lines like that. Yeah.
And it's so applicable to like all sorts of situations, like romantic situation, or if you've like lost a loved one, or you know.
I love how he pairs the songs on the album. Like before, where it was Werewolf into Mighty Beast, and at least from like my interpretation, though, like you know, 2 sides of the same coin. Like grief is only love and hang in there. It's kind of like the grief is only love is the fresher, rawer experience of having lost his father, like that being sort of the main experience that he's writing from that song. But then hang in there is like the other end of that experience, where, or like further along in that experience, where a lot of this song, there's like this focus on this necklace.
Yeah.
And the necklace is what his dad bought for him when his dad was in Jamaica or something. And now it's on his car mirror. So everywhere he drives, he like takes his dad with him. But it's, the hang in there is a pun, because it's, his dad is hanging in there.
Right.
Or like that's sort of his dad's presence for him. But then seeing that reminds Stephen himself to hang in there. And it's like an encouragement for him as well to hang in there in his own life. So he's got this like grief that his father's not there, but the necklace is like that little bit of his father that he has with him wherever he goes. Yeah. That's just really cool.
And he makes a point in that track about like how, you know, it's not, that necklace itself isn't worth anything, but he wouldn't, wouldn't give it up for all the gold in the world, you know, like it's, and I just love that that's so relatable to so many things,
Mm.
even to me, like I can just think of there's stuff I have of my dad's that isn't worth, exactly that, isn't worth anything, but it's so valuable to me, but for personal reasons or whatever. But like, yeah, it's a really cool line and cool song.
Yeah. He says, to most it ain't worth nothing. I wouldn't take $1 million for it. For it's the one thing. And
yeah,
I had to hang in there, swinging from my rearview mirror. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So there are like the other songs do kind of well, actually, let's go to The Devil, track 1. Because why do you think he'd open the album with this song?
I just want to pull the lyrics up quick.
Because even like sound, if I remember correctly, it's sorry, I'm just waiting for the intro.
Hand on the Bible,
yeah, it's
turn to fly.
Okay, his vocals are fantastic across the board. I wanted to say that because I feel like we spoke about music earlier and didn't necessarily focus on his voice, but he doesn't sing. He doesn't look like he sings like an ordinary singer, like big mouth, like open chest,
inward.
It's like his molars are clenched the whole time, and he just sings through like ventriloquist lips. But he's got a huge voice, which is so bewildering.
I know. And there's so much. Actually, you'll see on that performance when he does on the performance he does on later with Jules Holland. He's like, it's very, so reverby, man. Like everything's got like a ton of reverb, so like it just sounds massive. And then he's got like his little collection of pedals and stuff. So he hits like certain things, and it's so effective. Like the sounds really, they've nailed it. Like everything just works, and it sounds just so great. And it creates this really cool atmosphere. But this song is one of those that does that exact thing. But yeah, it's the theme of this. He kind of touches on a bunch of things. It's almost like he's like giving advice to almost like his dad is giving advice to him, or he's now passing on that advice to his son, or just giving advice to somebody. I don't know, like, because there's just so many different things that he's kind of like hitting in this. Do you see what I mean? Because he kind of like, he talks about like the Bible, then he's talking about, oh, his mom's back in jail, then he's talking about gunfire in schools, then he's talking about, in verse 2 it's like different, and it's like, you work hard for the man, the hate will break you down, you're the toughest guy in town. Then he touches on like pharmaceutical drug addiction, and then he talks about which ear is working now.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. I didn't think about this as potentially like nuggets of wisdom or lessons that he might have been told by his dad, whether he feels them or not.
Yeah.
If that's like sort of condensing the kind of things that his dad would have told him about the world. Or like his...
unless he's maybe talking to his younger self, like now that he's older and he's got all this life experience, and he's almost like looking back on his life and like giving himself advice.
Because I thought the song was about like the reality of, or like empty reality of like false promises. Because it seemed to say there was like a good thing, but then like the sort of dark side of that, like hand on the Bible, lies, maggots turn to flies, wear your promise ring, the preacher's got a thing for me, but like wear your promise ring, like that type of what's the word when you like don't have sex?
Celibacy.
There's like What? Yeah, celibacy. Chastity.
Abstinence.
Yeah, abstinence, like chastity, like that whole thing. It's like wear your promise ring. That's like what's often like the chastity is like preached from the pulpit, but then like the preacher's got a thing for me.
Yeah.
So I thought there were like dark sides of things, like the filthy rich will rob you clean. Snake will crawl the earth to shed its skin to make more room for the poison.
That's a great point, though. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was wondering if it was about like promises that some things have, but it's all like empty promises, or like I don't know. I was trying to read into it because it's not. He's not as like clear about what he's saying in this song. At least I don't think so.
I'm just looking if there's anything on Genius, if there's any like behind the track info.
It's quite a like obscure song to start the album on.
It is, but then
that
bridge for me is what sort of led me to kind of say what I said, because then he says like, as I lay me, almost like he's on his deathbed looking back. So he says like, as I lay me down, go get behind me now. So like all these bad things kind of, you know, like that's just in life. You're going to experience those things. But, you know, life will come to an end at some point, and those things will just eventually be something you won't even remember or think about, you know? Yeah.
Oh, because get behind thee now is like, I mean, that's King James sort of speak, but that's like what Jesus says to Peter, but he's like really addressing like the devil, something like, get behind me, Satan.
Yes, yeah, I get behind me, Satan, yeah.
So maybe it's just more of a kind of like his spiritual worldview, something, because it's about the devil.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of biblical sort of.
But it's just a really interesting choice for the first song on the album. Unless thematically it wasn't really why he chose it there. Maybe it was just like a musical track one.
I don't know. It feels like it. Yeah, I don't know. I agree.
It's not a bad track one. I just wasn't like confused at why
I agree with you though, because thematically it doesn't really fit actually when you've looked at like all 22 tracks, you know, because there's the father-son thing, relationship, his growing up in rural America, there's like all those themes. Then it's finding like sort of the love of his life and getting married and having a stepson, and then, you know, and then this doesn't really fit. Actually, you're right. It doesn't really fit into the theme. It's kind of, that's why I say, like, for me, it was more just almost thinking like, but even with my sort of theory, it doesn't really fit in the sort of track list. I would have put it somewhere else, like as an opener. It's a bit weird. I don't know. I mean, it's a great song and it's super well produced, this one. I really like the production on this. It's a cool song.
I like the imagery of sort of midway through the chorus, and he says, "The filthy rich will rob you clean until you raise your voices, and the louder one above the rest will call himself a rebel. There's the one you know and the one you don't, but they're still both the devil." And I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I think about rebels, and like when the rebels take over the galactic empire and like overthrow the galactic empire, the rebels then have to lead. Yeah. But then there's the whole sort of conflict, or like this where you got to like start leading, but you've been the rebels, but now you're the one enforcing laws. And then
it's like Animal Farm, like, right, with the pigs.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
It's exactly,
and it's like there's the one you know and the one you don't, and they're both the devil. Like at some point, the person leading is going to make decisions that affect people negatively, and it's like a cycle, you know.
And inevitably,
not like a true cycle, but
and in most cases,
like which one?
Those things you always become. It's like in Animal Farm, like you just become the thing that you were trying to get away from.
Mm.
You know, like the pigs just basically become human. It's like it's that
Yeah.
exact thing, and that's what happens every time. It's like politicians always promise all these things, but they just become like the last one. You know, it's like Andy Burnham's just gonna be Keir Starmer again. So like it's
yeah.
but,
yeah, apparently he's going back on all the environmental stuff he was speaking about before, which is annoying.
I don't know. There's going to be somebody better than Labour. Because anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Because flipping Keir Starmer did nothing. Honestly, he's flipping useless. But anyway,
he made friends with Trump though. He did what he could for the UK's tariffs.
That's true. Yeah. If you
Whipped
did one
up that
thing,
fancy letter from the king and all that.
Played to his royalist heart.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh man, that's so funny. But yeah, no.
Yeah, so I feel like in some ways it seems to, maybe this is like a track that's more like an underlying way of thinking, and then everything else is more on the surface of how he thinks. But this is more like I don't know. I'm trying to piece together like why it's track one, because he seems super intentional around like all his lyric choices and how he writes his music and things. So there's got to be some like logic behind this being track one.
I agree with you. Unless this is just kind of it's like an overarching thing, you know, like an overarching theme of like just talking about like, I don't know.
Well, like what I was like what I meant to say, I probably didn't say this clearly, but if this is like the sort of like part of his foundation belief, like his like skepticism about faith, because it seems like faith is important to him, but then there's also like a degree of skepticism of faith that you see in some lyrics and things. And I wonder if he feels like he's maybe slightly on the outside of so many different things. So like there's the one you know, the one you don't, but they're both called the devil. You know, if he has that like degree of distance that he keeps from different institutions or ways of thinking or cultures around him. I don't know. I'm trying to be super existential here.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting because so many people. He reminds me of Dave Matthews quite a lot in the sense that he wrestles a lot with faith, but the Bible in particular. Like, I mean, all over Dave Matthews stuff, there's like he's wrestling with faith and biblical imagery, and this guy's the same. There's so much biblical imagery scattered throughout this, and like maybe as a scientist too, it's that like sort of that juxtaposition of like being a scientist and then like the faith and the supernatural and dealing with death, dealing with death, like the death of his father, like that brings that to the surface, because now it's not something so like scientific. Like it is in the sense that, oh yeah, he died, but it's not so scientific in like all the other things that come out of that, like that you deal with, you know.
So interesting. Yeah. Because of course being like quote unquote country, the type of faith that they sort of express and feel and believe is like often counter to science in terms of like creation narrative and all that kinds of things. So being a scientist, but from a faith background where his community would have thought a particular way, but like feeling so alienated from that. But then when he was a scientist, he was so country as a scientist. So like a country scientist, like he's like Daywalker, like
swapping roles. It's weird.
Yeah, God, that's a very interesting thought.
Oh man, yeah, well, that's cool. But yeah, it's making me think now about this opener because yeah, it actually doesn't fit at all.
Well,
like theme wise, it doesn't. Like musically, it's perfect. Like it works really well.
Yeah.
And it goes into cuckoo like brilliantly. Like I feel like that the transition into
the vibe shift.
That's a great
great
vibe shift.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's play around with this idea. Let's top and tail with the devil and the beginning.
Okay.
What did you feel about the beginning, and does that explain why the devil is maybe track 1, if the beginning is track 22? Because there's a very strong like faith theme in the beginning as well.
Yeah. But this one again as well, like I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just reading over the lyrics again. I don't. I also didn't think this had a massive place because the others, it's like what you said. Like each of them kind of like gets grouped. So he kind of like groups. You know, like we said earlier, like he groups kind of 2 together that fit a theme. So like 2 like to do with his dad, 2 to do with growing up, whatever, 2 to do with love, 2 to do with whatever else.
Like they have clear categories
Or maybe,
that they seem to fit in.
Maybe the devil in the beginning are two that kind of do fit together, but he's just split them. So
it's like the brackets that the album's in.
Yeah, that could be one way of thinking about it.
There's a very sort of technical biblical word for something like that. We have like idea brackets in scripture.
Yeah,
it's called an inclusio.
Okay.
So
that's
like
cool.
Paul say, I don't know, in one of his letters, he'll like have an idea, like say, like make some claim, and then he'll go on something else, talk about something else that's seemingly unrelated, but then he'll make that same idea again in another way. So it's like this one idea is encased by these 2 other lines, and it's called an inclusio, and it often informs how you should read that middle section based on the top and bottom of what he said. I can't think of ideas of like examples right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean,
but it's essentially just like a parenthesis
stuff. Like, yeah, I can imagine.
See. He seems to go off on something else, and then he comes back and says the same thing again. But it's really an idea bracket, an inclusio, and it frames how you should read that middle section.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like the devil in the beginning, because the song is, from what I figured, the beginning is kind of like finding hope in faith when fear is mostly taught in faith, like when faith is often used to convey fear about things and skepticism. But he's like trying to find hope in it or something. Because I haven't made like more specific sort of lyric notes on this. I'm gonna read through them quickly and see what I read. So it says, and I read the holy. It's really just in the chorus. I read the holy books and poured through the pages. So he's well versed in the Bible. Upon a closer look, I had a revelation. Yeah, I noticed there's a trend. The world keeps spinning. We've been talking about the end ever since the beginning. So everyone's like pointing at things and be like, this is the sign that things are going down. It's like bad and negativity. And like the end is coming. Yet the sun comes up again. This is the sort of outro. Someday we'll all look up and pray for love to change us, to find the courage to be kind. And then, hell, maybe we ain't finished. Maybe this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's just like really interesting sort of perspective.
It is really cool.
I don't quite know how that ties into the devil now that I've read that.
No, I was just thinking that as you were reading it, I was thinking how this is going to fit together with devil. Because this, weirdly, just reading the lyrics has like an almost like optimism to it somehow. Whereas the devil doesn't sound very optimistic. It sounds a lot more like like end times. Like this is, you know. But
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my big idea of the album.
Okay.
The devil, the like empty promises, the skepticism of everything.
Yeah.
That's like off the back of losing his dad and like identity crisis of like boxer or scientist or musician, he's like not in a good spot.
Okay.
So the devil kind of explains where his mind is at. And then as he goes through, it's almost like an extended like therapy session for him, really, how he's like processing through these themes. And he goes through like his identity and making peace with the things that have happened to him in the past, reflecting on his childhood, like connecting with his past, reflecting on his father and like having lost his father, and like grief and affection, or like grief is only love and all that. And then For What It's Worth is about finding his new partner, and like Kid and Henry is like him being able to sort of pay it forward of what his dad did for him. And then The Beginning is like the start of thinking in a new way. It's like his whole mind has been reframed.
Or him starting as a so like him starting as a father and a husband and
yeah. So he gets to like
really
initiate.
That's a very good summation. I like that. That's very good.
That's my final thesis.
That makes a lot of sense. I've got nothing to add to that, because that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah. Good album, dude.
Awesome. Man, I really enjoyed it. I just thought little left field, not something I think we would like I would usually choose. But I really enjoyed this album, so glad you did too, man.
Yeah, no, it was really cool. And again, I appreciate the albums, listening to them, and then after our conversation, like sharing their ideas.
You go back and you're like,
the albums just like take on a whole new life.
I know.
So that's my favorite thing about this. I mean, talking to you, but sort of like
can be just
because this is why we started this, is to enjoy music and get more out of music that we enjoy. And like, because we were doing this kind of thing anyway, but now we just get to do it in like more detail.
Yeah, man, that was really, really good. So, what are your three words?
Okay. Should I just go to all three?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to take one or two of yours.
So there's one word that comes up every time, which anyway, it's fine. Karen.
Okay. There are a couple. See, but I feel like the whole vision of this album is like shifted now that we've gone through it. But I'll stick with the words I chose. Mm-hmm. Nostalgic.
There we go. Okay, you've taken it.
Of course. It has to. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Nostalgic has to be one of them.
And then, okay, I'm going to change my second word to. No. It's generic, but I'm just going to say beautiful.
Okay.
Or like, in like finding beauty in things that are quite dark. And then my third word is sad. And I think it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad because it's sad. Because being sad is sometimes good for you, you know?
Yeah. Totally.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, well, you took mine. So nostalgic.
Yeah, I know. I knew I would.
But that was an obvious word for this album.
It's so on the nose. It's on the nose. There we go. Bingo card.
One was emotional. Which sounds generic, but it really does cover sort of like the scope. Yeah. And then, oh gosh, I've gone blank. What was my third one now? Was it nostalgic, emotional, and hopeful? Because I really liked that end bit, like with his, especially when I heard Henry, like that for me was like,
oh yeah,
he's like found this life where he can now pass on these things that his dad taught him. You know, his dad taught him boxing and how to fish and how to do all these things. And I just thought that's really beautiful that like he has this hope in being able to live this fulfilling life and pass all those things on and pour into like his son, which is really cool. So yeah, those were my three.
Nice one, dude.
Where do we go next, Michael?
Okay.
I know you were very excited about this.
This could have gone so. As we've been talking about the album, I feel like there've been.
Oh, you're still
so
going
many
about
more.
it. You're still going.
Let me just quickly pull up the album to see exactly what year it came out, so I can tell you. Okay, so this album came out 61 years ago.
61.
And so the song "Hometown."
Okay.
Do you have an idea where I'm going?
I think I might, but anyway, carry on. Yeah, I think I might know where you're going.
So, yeah, like there were so many songs that were like. So my first thought was "All the Wars from Now On." That song. Hey Bob, hey Jim, and it's like about all the wars being played by old men. And I was like, oh, I know an artist that writes a song that's kind of in that thing. But then I wanted to do a different album from that artist.
Okay.
And Hometown fits. So what we're doing, dear listener, is we're going to start having like, it could be the most obscure connections, but whatever this album that we're working on this week, whatever we're thinking about makes us think of another album.
Yes.
Like we're gonna try and find those connections to the next album. So like link the albums in some however obscure way. So Hometown is about like feeling out of place and like being like when he's a scientist and stuff, he's like out of place and not at home. And he's like, yeah. Anyway, so based on that sentiment, we're gonna go Highway 61 Revisited.
I knew it.
By Bob Dylan. Because it's like a Rolling Stone.
I knew it. And can I tell you something really funny? Nicola's going to kill me for telling you this, especially on the podcast. But there's an ad on TV at the moment. It's like an Audi ad. And it's like, I don't know, it has some reference to like Bob Dylan, like plugging in
Maggie's Farm.
And going, yes, yeah.
Ain't gonna work on Maggie's Farm no more.
Nicola
I freaking love that track, man.
Nicola said to me last night, and she's like, oh, I really just, I don't get him. Like, like his vocal is just, no, like, I don't like his thing.
His vocals aren't good, but that's the point.
And I was like, but this was my argument. I was like, I know, but he was iconic. Like, he was a revolutionary. Like, the dude freaking, like, he pioneered it. Like, he spoken, like, and she was just like, yeah. And I'm like, no, okay, I need to talk to Michael about this because this is ridiculous. And she's like, yeah, he's just underrated. And I was like, no, like, you should.
No.
She's like, underrated. He wrote really good songs and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but like the whole thing is what made him amazing. Anyway, but it was really, it was just really funny. And now that you've selected that, I'm like,
modern rock and rolls, like, I mean, they're like a few people you can accredit like the genesis of modern rock and roll, like Chuck Berry being one of them, and but like the Rolling Stones got their name from the first track of this album. Yes. Like a Rolling Stone, you know?
Exactly.
And it's like, he's like the genesis of so much of modern music. Yeah. Anyway, so, I mean, cool. I appreciate so many of Bob Dylan's albums, but this one is, Have you watched the movie Complete Unknown?
Yeah.
You've seen that? Okay.
Yeah. Have you, so, if you can get your hands on it, I would highly recommend you get, there's a documentary called No Direction Home, directed by Martin. No Direction Home, directed by Martin Scorsese. Okay. And it basically follows, I think I've got it on DVD somewhere. I mean, not that I have a DVD player, but I think I have it on DVD somewhere. It's incredible. It basically follows Dylan from like it's all like basically like handheld camera, like first account, like Scorsese just follows him around, like filming it. But like they interview him and like he talks about like his whole beginning, like how he started out. And then
he interviews Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Like it's all like face to face with Dylan, like the whole thing. And it's like 3 hours long. It's amazing. And
okay.
Dude, it is just so cool. And like there's like footage of him like in a car with like all these fans like diving on the car, and he's just like sitting there like kind of, he's so chilled. And there's one scene in particular that's hilarious. He's like sitting backstage in like a green room, and he's like, some dude like walks, he's like reading the paper, and some guy like walks in. I think it's like part of his team or security or whatever, and they're like, Bob, 5 minutes to stage, and don't worry, we got the guy with the rifle. And he was like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean a guy with a rifle? And he's like, oh, there was a guy here, and he was gonna attempt to shoot you while you were on stage, but don't worry, we got him. And he's like, don't tell me that there's a guy with a rifle, man. He's like, just let me. And he's like just really annoyed, and he like picks up his guitar and he like walks to stage. He's just like, no. He's like, don't tell me that there's a guy who's about to shoot me. He's like, just let him shoot me, man. Like, don't tell me about it.
So funny.
And he's just so chilled, and just like does whatever he wants, man. Like he's just, oh, it was great. But
yeah, he's such an enigma. Like in interviews and things, he can be so mysterious. Like people ask him about like, who's Mr. Jones, which is Ballad of a Thin Man on this album, and he's like, we're all Mr. Jones. Everyone of us is Mr. Jones. And it's like, but you listen to the song and you're like, what is this song? It makes no sense. So I'm really excited to go through this album.
Sick.
Because I'm just so keen to see what it's about.
And quite a change from 22 tracks to 9.
Yeah, I know. Is it only 9 tracks? Yeah,
well, on this version tracks. I found, I think there might be was there a remastered one I just saw? Oh no. No. It's
no. But I also think this is the first album from Apple's 100 best albums list that we're doing as well.
Oh nice. Oh, Pet Sounds. Yeah. That would be a good album. That just popped up underneath.
Nice. Right. Well,
cool, man.
Send us away, Carl.
Alrighty. Give me a second. Let me get all my information.
And we make no promises about when the next album's coming out. I've got family coming over for the next 2 weeks, so you'll get the episodes.
One day we'll get into
when you get the episodes.
One day
hopefully not too soon after this comes out. But,
between newborns and family visiting, you'll get episodes. Anyway, but you can find us on Instagram at the Buds Pod UK, on YouTube at the Buds Podcast UK, and email us at thebudspodcastuk@gmail.com. Like, follow, subscribe, share it away, get everybody to listen to us. Let's take over Russia. Let's take over Colombia. Not
with
in a political sense, just in listenership.
No, I want to take over all the OnlyFans in Russia with my hairy feet. That's what it meant.
You will make billions.
Right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
And thank you, Carl.
Until next time.
See you, dude.
See you guys.